So we are now back from the Police Crime Commission account, and we interviewed all three candidates, and they're all in the same blog, and they will come up in a little few seconds. So just before, the results were Matthew Scott won with 120,491 votes, which was 44.1% share, but it was 13.7% lower than the last poll in 2021. He was a Conservative candidate. And he stood against the Labour candidate Lenny Rolles, who had 92,508 votes, and Graham Colley for the Liberal Democrats, who had 60,279 votes. The Lib Dems increased their vote share by 5.1%, and the Labour Party increased their share by 8.6%. So it was a really interesting night, and all three guys were awesome. They had amazing things to say, as you will find out. First, we're gonna first you're gonna hear the interview from Graham Colley, the Lib Dem candidate. Then it'll be Lenny Rolles, the Labour Party candidate, and then it'll be Matthew Scott, who is still the Police Crime Commissioner for Kent. So welcome to Just Text Me again, Graham.
Pleased to be here.
So just quickly, we're expecting the result very, very soon. Obviously, you've been on the Just Text Me show before. We're asked this silly question first, which the silly question for the second time of coming in is: if you were in a UK, if your rock band was in a UK tour, what would it be called?
The Who.
The Who. Awesome. So how do you think you're going to do today?
I'm pretty optimistic. I'm not sure whether I'll win. I don't think I will win, but I'm hoping to have improved on what I did last time.
Awesome. If you did win, for example, a big important thing for Just Text Me listeners is: will you keep the mental health stuff that Matthew Scott has currently done?
Of course, and I would like to elaborate and improve upon it.
Awesome. So do you think you're going to keep your deposit?
I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep my deposit. I would be very disappointed if I didn't. Certainly, one wouldn't want to lose £5,000, which is what the deposit is for the Police and Crime Commissioner election.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. Did you go out in Tunbridge Wells at all, and help those guys?
Yes, I went over. I know Mike Martin, so I was very pleased to go and help the people who were standing for the local elections there. I went and helped in Paddock Wood.
Awesome. What's your biggest thing that you want to improve on with the Police Crime Commissioner elections?
Lib Dems are the party of community politics, and therefore community policing comes naturally. I believe that a lot of antisocial behaviour, shoplifting, and even problems like county lines would be helped if you had more PCSOs out and about the ears and eyes of the community.
Awesome. So the Lib Dems want more PCSOs?
We certainly do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Graham. Good luck in the election. So at the moment, I'm with Lenny Rolles. We're expecting the result imminently for the Police Crime Commissioner. Lenny is standing for Labour.
Hi there, how are you doing?
I'm okay. So the first question we ask everyone is, if you were in a rock band, because it's your first time on the Just Text Me show, if you were in a rock band, what would your rock band name be?
Oh, I don't know what rock band I'd be. Probably the Rollers.
The Rollers. I like it. So do you think you're going to, how well do you think you're going to do today?
Well, it's a bit too early to say at the moment. We'll just have to wait and see what the final result is. I've had some really positive conversations with alongside some amazing parliamentary candidates across Kent and Medway as well that I've been on the doorstep with, and I think people are turning to Labour, particularly in the coastal and estuary communities. There's a real kind of divide. It's almost like a tale of two counties, really, in terms of the way and the support that people feel that they're getting from the government.
Matthew Scott has done a lot of work in regards to mental health and policing. That wasn't really brought up in your campaign. I don't think anyone really spoke about it in their campaign. Would you continue on what Matt Scott has done in regards to mental health?
Yeah, obviously, mental health is one of the most important things, and actually, it came up in the hustings that we did in Medway. I've supported residents in my ward as a local councillor on mental health issues, and I continue to work tirelessly to make sure people, that we're working with the right agencies to ensure that people get the mental health support that they need, because that's got to be a priority area when there's people that really need that support, to ensure that they're getting what they need at the most appropriate time as fast as possible. Of course, one of the problems is because of the huge cuts that this government's inflicted on the NHS and the health service, we're in a position where people are really struggling, and there's no support there, there's no fallback, there's no way of making sure that people that are facing mental health crisis get the support that they deserve and need.
How confident are you that you're going to win?
Well, look, I've no idea what the result's going to be. I think it will be close. I've worked extremely hard to get out there and convince as many people as possible that Labour is the best option for them. I hope that people put their faith in us. I think you'll be able to look at what the breakdown is in those communities and where the support's come from. I think it's going to be particularly tough when you look at the fact that it was Tunbridge Wells and Maidstone that had their votes. It might have been a different story if it was Gravesham and Medway and those kind of communities that are being left behind by the Conservative government. So we need to just make sure that we're facing all of those things and see how we progress from there.
Yeah, because it's actually quite fair to say that Gravesham, that both Tunbridge Wells and Maidstone are very split between Tories and Lib Dem.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's not forget, it was Tunbridge Wells where the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, stood and said that he's taken the money from those kind of more deprived areas in Britain to put in communities like there. But I think even there they're turning away. What I think is the shame is that, this was a cross-county election. I think people need to consider how they're voting in the future to ensure that if they want a change of government, the change is delivered. And so they need to be really mindful of where they're putting their axe on that ballot paper, because that can make all the difference.
Awesome. Thank you, Lenny. No worries. Thank you. So, hello, I'm with Matthew Scott now. He's the current Police Crime Commissioner. How are you doing, Matt?
I'd be better when this is over.
So we're expecting the results quite imminently now. So the first question we always ask is a fun question. It's, if you're in a rock band, what would your rock band name be?
I've already been in rock bands. Can I use one of those names?
Yeah, you can today. It's a very pressuring day for you, I know.
So I was in a band called Nelly's Heroes before, and we played covers for a long time.
Oh, awesome. What covers did you play?
Everything and everything. So we did everything from classic rock and punk to pop songs that we made punk versions of. So I am very big on my music.
Awesome, thank you. You've done a lot of work in regards to mental health and policing. Do you see that continuing, and what are your big issues now? Is mental health still a big issue for you?
Yeah, absolutely is. I mean, mental health touches policing in a number of different ways, and the important thing to remember is that behind every single one of those cases is an individual who needs help. Mental health has always been one of my personal and professional priorities for that reason. That's what we are here to do. We are to serve people. So we have done a lot of work with the Mental Health Trust in order to reduce the number of times that people are being sectioned for their own safety under the Mental Health Act, but also to try and find alternative places of safety so that people have got somewhere to go when they are in their time of need. So it will remain a priority for me, because there are other ways, such as people going missing, people being exploited, people who are victims of crime and who are struggling with the consequences of being a victim of crime. We need to help them still.
Yeah, so I mean, it's you guys, you have actually. I know I've benefited from your mental health stuff. I mean, I even worked for IMHP when you funded the overnight from your office, and also you guys have done funded support and signposting at Priority House, which I think is incredibly important, and I know that definitely reduces the amount of sections.
Absolutely, and that's what we have to do. Is we've got to find the right care for from the right person at the right time. We were in a situation where we were just sectioning so many people, and that might have been the appropriate response based on the needs being presented, that because we've got those alternatives, because we're triaging better, so we're working with the NHS to understand individual concerns, those numbers are dropping because people are getting the right care from the right person. So the police will always have a role to play in addressing issues relating to mental health. We're never going to step away from that.
It has been said that now Kent Police are, so within the mental health community, obviously I have been sections before under 136s, but it has been said quite a lot in the community that right now, and it's kind of a positive thing but also a negative thing, that actually Kent Police are far more better than the crisis team at dealing with mental health. Like, people would prefer to deal with police officers than they would prefer to deal with the crisis team, for example.
Yeah, we have to acknowledge as well that the crisis team are in remarkable difficulties themselves because they are under so much pressure with demand too. So I will take the positive feedback for Kent Police, and I know that they'll love to hear that because we don't hear enough positive feedback for our police officers, but there is still some work to do with the NHS Trust, and I know that we've got an executive team there now who are absolutely committed to improving that process.
Awesome. How do you think you're going to do today?
I went into this feeling confident but not complacent. I never think that you should take anything for granted, so we carried on knocking on doors, delivering leaflets, making sure that we got the message out, because as I say, you should never ever take anybody's vote for granted. The second you should do that, you should get out of politics. So I'm confident but not complacent.
Awesome. Good luck, Matt. Thank you so much. And there we had it, and Matt Scott won. And everybody's comments about dealing with the police and the crisis team, they'd rather deal with the police and the crisis team, I put to Matthew, and he was quite pleased to hear that. But yeah, he is right that the crisis team are under a lot of pressure. So that's it for this podcast, and this is the podcast that will be just a one-off that we'll be doing after every count. So every count from now on, we'll be doing a podcast like this. This will only happen at counts, by-elections or otherwise. So yeah, our normal podcast will be the coffee shop chat, which the first episode is coming very soon.